Hi everyone, so that's yet another day working from home and under the new lockdown rules that we have. And today I was going to talk about WrestleMania 36. Now, when I originally started putting my vlogs together, things to do after work, WrestleMania 36, it still wasn't entirely certain what was going to happen. I think the decision had already been made to move it from its original venue in Tampa to Orlando, where the Performance Centre is. And as far as I'm aware, I think it was still going to take place over one night at the time. Well, since I put this vlog together, things have changed. And the greatest show on earth, the biggest event of the calendar year for any wrestling fan, is now going to take place over 2 nights. It's going to start on the Saturday, when NXT TakeOver would have been taking place. That's now no longer going to happen. Hall of Fame, NXT TakeOver, all the surrounding events have been completely and utterly cancelled. Absolutely the right decision. The NXT TakeOver matches are now going to be shown on NXT on Wednesdays. WrestleMania itself is now going to take place on the Saturday and the Sunday, so that's the 4th and the 5th of April. And it's as a result of that, they've actually had to add a few more matches in. So although I had my list of matches and what I thought was going to happen, all of that kind of got blown out the window. What they're going to do now instead is certain matches are going to take place in different locations. What those locations are, what format that's going to take, as yet I'm not sure. We know that there's a WrestleMania host, the football player Gronk. He's going to be like the master of ceremonies, the host for that. And we also know that there's going to be certain matches for Raw and SmackDown that are also pre-recorded. Now, if this is because they're trying to prepare ahead of time, because they think they won't be allowed to film or broadcast live pretty soon, or if this is just a sensible move in order to make sure that there's some product, I don't know. But I think certainly in the first instance, WWE made the right decision in taking it out of Tampa and not allowing a crowd. I think what they've been doing recently with Raw and SmackDown, they've been trying really, really hard to provide some form of entertainment, and I really appreciate that. I also want to say that I really appreciate what AEW did last week and what they're going to be doing this week as well. It's really difficult circumstances. So professional wrestling really is as much about the crowd interaction as it is the promos and what goes on in the ring. You get that pop when your entrance music hits from the crowd. You get all that crowd interaction, you get people shouting catchphrases back at you, chanting things along with you. Like Seth Rollins comes down and the whole crowd screams out "Burn It Down" as part of his entrance music. Daniel Bryan comes out and everybody's going "Yes, yes, yes." To not have any of that feels very, very weird. To have Paul Heyman stood there introducing Brock Lesnar and to not have anybody saying those words along with him feels incredibly weird. But under the circumstances, everyone in professional wrestling has been doing an amazing job. They've been trying to keep us entertained under very difficult circumstances. So what do we know? What's going to happen? Well, there might be a slight complication to the SmackDown Women's title. It was announced by Paige on SmackDown last week via Skype that Bayley would be defending her championship against a range of women, including her best friend Sasha Banks. Now, one of those women was Dana Brooke. But, if it's to be believed, Dana Brooke is apparently in quarantine, so how that's going to happen, I'm not entirely sure, unless this match has already been pre-recorded and it's ready to go. Otherwise, who knows? We've also had some extra matches added in, such as Aleister Black and Bobby Lashley. Seems like a very last-minute, very late addition, but because it's taking place over 2 nights, you need quite a range of matches in order to keep this show on the road. We know that certain matches are still going to go ahead. Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair for the NXT Women's Championship, that's definitely going to happen. We know Becky Lynch is fighting Shayna Baszler, and I've got to say, Shayna Baszler on Twitter, I totally agree with The Rock. She was amazing. For her to basically turn around and say, "Perfect, don't need a crowd. Better for me to hear bones and tendons snap." Absolutely fantastic way of dealing with what is actually quite a difficult situation. I thought she handled it like a real pro, a real proper heel character. She was fantastic. That was brilliant. We also know that we're getting Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins, which I think even before the coronavirus shut everything down, that was pretty obvious that that's where that was going for WrestleMania, so that would be quite an interesting one to see. And yeah, we're still waiting on things like the SmackDown tag match. I'm not quite sure who's going to be facing who for that. The women's tag titles, I don't think have an opponent yet, but I think it's probably going to be Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Yeah, we've got some really sort of odd title matchups. Andrade doesn't appear to be defending his US title. It looks like he's been put in the Raw tag match with which is against the Street Profits. So it'd be interesting to see how they can pull it off. It will be interesting to see how they can do this. I'm going into it with an open mind. The most painful thing, though, has been watching old WrestleManias via the network and clips that have been shown on Raw and SmackDown. Seeing the crowds and seeing the pageantry. Professional wrestling is this mad, wonderful show at the best of times. But WrestleMania, it just notches it right up there, just one little bit more. So for there not to be a crowd this year, that feels like a real shame. An absolute shame. So I was going to do a load of predictions, but I really don't know what's going to happen because everything's so unpredictable and everything's moving so fast, and who knows what's actually going to happen when it comes to that weekend. So I'm not going to make any predictions this year. I'm just going to say thank you to all of the WWE superstars who are still putting their livelihoods, their own health and safety on the line to bring us something every week, some kind of sense of normality in what is under no circumstances normal times. And then I guess my final message is this: stay home, watch some professional wrestling. The WWE Network has been made free for a while, so you can watch pay-per-views, you can watch documentaries, you can watch old episodes for Raw and SmackDown. Stay in and watch yourself some damn wrestling, because do you know what? The sooner you stay in, the sooner you follow the lockdown rules, the sooner we can all go outside again. And I know it's very tempting, because particularly in Britain this week, we've had the nicest weather that we've had in about 6 months. But unlike my neighbour, who has been outside every day cleaning his car, who said to one of his other neighbours earlier, it feels like an extended Christmas day, no it doesn't. It should not feel like an extended Christmas holiday. This is completely serious. Stay in, watch TV, yeah, by all means sit in your ass and eat too much, but my God, do not be flippant about it, because that's when people will get ill, and that's when people will die. If you don't think you're in an at-risk group, good for you. I don't think I'm in an at-risk group, but you know why I'm staying home? Because there are people out there who are, and it's them that I need to be staying home for. And it's people who are working in the NHS, people who are essential workers that still need to go out there every single day. And I salute you. But it's people like that who I need to be staying at home for. It's really quite simple. There's so much that you can do at home. So that's it for today. That's all I've got time for. So I will see you tomorrow. I can't remember what I was going to do tomorrow's vlog on, but we'll see. See you later.